Santorini, the fabled isle of white buildings, blue domes, and unbelievable sunsets. And while many choose to just relax in luxury, there's actually tons to do on this volcanic island. And in this video, we're covering it all, from the best black sand beaches to the best viewpoints in towns and all the hidden gems in between. So grab your souvlaki, hit that like button, and we'll cover the top things you need to do when you visit the island of Santorini. Let's start with one of our favorite things to do in Santorini, and that's explore Fira. Fira is the island's vibrant capital, famous for its narrow streets lined with a mix of traditional architecture and modern shops. The old town of Fira's whitewashed buildings create a stunning backdrop as you explore local boutiques, art galleries, and souvenir shops. This is one of the best towns on the island to take leisurely strolls and stop for a coffee at cozy cafes and bistros.
If you're looking for one of the most scenic spots in Fira, you'll need to check up its coastal cliff walkway. Lining the ridge of the city is a paved and well-maintained walking trail that winds past whitewashed Cycladic buildings and up scenic stairs. The higher you climb, the grander your views become of the city of Fira below. The scenic walkway offers panoramic views of the volcanic caldera and the surrounding islands. It's a fantastic spot for photos, especially as the sun begins to set. Seriously, if you're looking for the best sunset spot in Fira, this is probably it. As the sun sets, you'll get amazing views of Fira, and the higher up you climb, you'll find fewer and fewer crowds. In fact, if you pass the main overlooks, you'll find little stretches you can enjoy all to yourself and be able to admire the water and the neighboring villages. Even if you don't make it all the way to the top, all along the way you'll encounter charming viewpoints and lovely spots to relax and enjoy the scenery.
So one of the things that makes the island of Santorini so unique is it's perched on top of a cliff, and the town of Fira has one of the most spectacular views. One of the best ways to appreciate these views is to actually walk up along this overlook hike. We'll link it in the description box below where to find it, but it offers you amazing views of the sea and of the town. While on this part of the island, it's the perfect time to descend to water level. With Fira being built on the volcanic cliffs over 800 feet above the sea, if you want to get closer to the crystal clear waters, you'll need to find a way downhill. One of the best ways to do this is to catch the cable car to the old port. If you don't feel like trekking up and down the massive switchbacking staircase, you can purchase cable car tickets from the booth in Fira to zip you up and down from the water's edge. We've heard this is one of the most scenic rides you can take in Fira and is a great way to beat the heat on a hot Santorini day. If cable cars aren't your thing, you can opt to walk. We've heard this can be quite the workout, and the stairs can be covered in donkey droppings from the many donkey trains that ferry travelers up and down the staircase as well, so make sure you're prepared before choosing if you want to conquer the stairs. If you do choose to walk, this can be a fun way to admire the blue waters and the cliffs that make Santorini so unique.
While near the cliffside walkway, it's a perfect time to try a one-of-a-kind Santorini experience, and that's catching a movie at the open-air cinema. This outdoor projection screen is built right into a cliffside cafe where you can catch a movie and enjoy some food and drinks in an incredible ambiance. Mamma Mia was playing the full week we were there, and given we watched it the night before, we opted to pass ourselves. However, if you're looking to visit, be sure to secure reservations either by email or phone, as they often sell out several nights in advance. We'll be releasing a complete Santorini travel guide where we'll be sharing everything you need to know on how to plan a successful trip to Santorini, so make sure you subscribe to see that video as well.
If you're looking to admire some of the classic Greek architecture without paying for an admission ticket, we recommend popping into this church. Located right in the midst of Fira's bustling old town, this church is a beautiful and traditional spot to appreciate some authentic Greek culture. Not to mention, on a hot Greek day, stepping into this shaded building is a great way to beat the Santorini heat. We felt spending 5 to 10 minutes here was plenty of time to see it all, and this is a small but interesting spot to see if you appreciate historical churches and architectural details like we do.
The next item on our list is taking us outside the town of Fira, and that's embarking on the scenic hike from Fira to Ia. This picturesque hike is just under 7 miles long and offers some of the best views on the island. The trail starts directly in Fira, and there are several easy-to-find signs that point you to the right path. The trail winds through the beautiful Cycladic white-walled homes, taking you through much less visited towns without the crowds of downtown Fira. So we are on the hike from Fira to Ia right now. As you can see, this is Ia in the background, so we have to make our way all along the island to the tip in Ia, and we're hoping to catch a sunset in Ia tonight, so wish us luck. The trail transitions into a more nature-filled hike with lots of different terrain to explore. In the main town areas, you'll have smooth paved paths, which eventually turn to cobblestones, and then simply a dirt road. There's about a 5-minute stretch you'll be along a main road as well, so be safe around vehicles driving by. Looks like that car is exactly the width of the trail. Would not want to be driving that. You can also add a stop along the way to climb this rock formation, which, while pretty, adds about an hour to the already 3 to 5 hour trek, so we passed on that side quest and just admired it from afar. So I don't really want to jinx it, but this has been a relatively easy hike so far. We did choose to go from Fira to Ia instead of Ira to Fia, because we could see that the elevation typically descends as you make your way into Ira, so we made it a little bit easier on ourselves. Just in general, this hike isn't really shaded at all, so you might want to time out when you want to make this hike to avoid avoid peak sun. We actually started around 2 p.m. from Fira because we wanted to make it to Ia for sunset, and that's working out pretty well for us so far. The sun isn't too overhead, and we're getting a lot of wind, which is keeping us cool. But we are here at the very beginning of October, so obviously in the summer it's going to be a lot hotter. So definitely bring some snacks, bring some water, and take plenty of stops along the way because these viewpoints are just incredible. As you approach Ia, you'll pass plenty of cliffside Greek churches along the way. We found these secluded chapels were some of the prettiest we came across, and being outside either city, you can have them almost entirely to yourself. So if you're looking to get some great pictures or find some authentic Greek island spots without the crowds, this hike is a great way to do it.
One of the things I'm absolutely loving about this trail is obviously the views are incredible, but you never feel like you're too close to the edge. I feel like there's always been a little barrier or you have a big wide spot to walk, so you feel really safe when you're taking in the cliff sides. After the hike, the next thing you need to do in Santorini is explore Ia. This town's a bit smaller than Fira. It feels more like its luxury-focused twin. Ia's atmosphere is defined by its chic infinity pools and boutique resorts, so if you're looking for a posh spot to stay, Ia's the place to be. However, Ia also has much fewer bars and nightclubs, so if you're looking to party while on the island, you'll find much more of that in Fira. One of the main things to do in Ia is just wander the streets and shop till you drop. You'll find plenty of jewelry and clothing stores, as well as your typical souvenir shops. Outside of shopping, one of the most famous things you can do in Ia is catch a sunset. With the town being perched on the Caldera's cliff facing west, the whole town is painted in a warm glow as the sun begins to go down. So when you make it to Ia, one of the best spots to catch a sunset is the castle. And if you come here at sunset, you have it all to yourself. Just kidding, this place is packed, it is crawling with people. Exhibit A, but the views are worth it. If you want a really secure spot, you probably get here an hour or two before sunset. We're here at 6:20, the sun goes down at 7:20. You can see it's already pretty crowded, but the views you get of the city and the water, terrific. Even if you don't go to the castle for sunset, this Venetian fortress is over 500 years old, and while small, can be a fun and free historic sight to see. But back on the topic of sunsets, if you're looking for a less crowded location, you can visit this spot overlooking Ia's famous blue domes. We found the spot to be much less crowded and still offer great views. We'll link this location in the description box below. We were just over by the castle over there, and you were packed like sardines. I can't actually remember a time I was more squeezed in with other human beings. You have to swim like a salmon upstream even just to get to the castle, let alone get back over here. We found this spot which is way less crowded, and I think it's an even better view of the sunset. You get to see the iconic blue domes that this town is known for in the background. You still get a pretty good view of the sea and the islands behind me.
Besides sunsets, one of the things most people are excited to do in both Ia and Fira is shop. Lining these streets are tons of small boutiques and gift shops, selling everything from handmade jewelry to local crafts. So if you're looking to shop some unique stores that showcase traditional Greek items and modern designs, you'll find plenty of stores lining both these town streets. If you're looking for a budget-friendly yet still authentic souvenir, consider picking up an Evil Eye or local honey. These are both Greek island staples and can be a fun way to remember your time on this volcanic island.
A trip to the beach is an essential part of most people's Greek island itineraries. And thanks to Santorini's volcanic past, this island has some of the most unique beaches around. Here, most of the beaches will be black sand beaches, meaning they're made of small volcanic rock, which, while not as soft as other white sand beaches, is still a relaxing activity to do while in Santorini. And while there are many great beaches around the island, we recommend the Parissa Beach, which is about a 30-minute ride from Fira by public bus. Buses are frequent in Santorini, and you can buy your bus tickets on board the bus. When you arrive in Parissa, you'll be greeted with probably one of the prettiest bus stations on the planet, and have access to some beach-style shops and restaurants. Once on the beach, you'll have the option to rent an umbrella and daybed, or lay out on the many free sections of the beach. The water is crisp, clean, and clear. Just be aware that once in the water, the bottom can be quite slippery and rocky, so you may want to wear your water shoes. If you're looking for other beaches, Lifer Campira is another great, though busier beach, and is also accessible by bus. So there's plenty of great options to get your beach on in Santorini.
And no trip to Santorini is complete without trying this next item on our list, and that's sampling some delicious Greek eats. Greece is home to some of the best food in the world, and all across the island of Santorini, you can find restaurants servicing up some authentic Greek dishes. We just released a complete Santorini food tour, highlighting some of our favorite restaurants and essential dishes to try. So make sure you subscribe so you see that video as well.
So that's it for our top things to do in Santorini video. If there's any spot we missed, be sure to let future travelers know in the comments below. We have similar videos from several other Greek islands and from places all over the world, so be sure to subscribe so you can see those and find out where we're heading next. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.